and welcome to another edition of Toys from the Attic. Last week I did a review on the Nickelodeon's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Raphael action figure. And I liked him so much that I actually went out and bought Donatello pretty much the day after. So I figured this week we'll take a closer look at him. Okay, so here we have Donatello. Just as before, I'm probably not going to go into the full backstory of this character because likewise the cartoon's coming out, and I feel that everyone should actually go and watch this cartoon for themselves and get a feel for the characters that way. Now, the box art is pretty much the same as the first one, except the bio is a little bit different here on the back, so I'll just hold this up here for anyone wanting to read. Interesting fact that I thought was pointed out is that they say that Donatello invented the robot Metalhead. I'm actually hoping that this means that Metalhead will actually appear in this TV series and probably fight alongside the Turtles. He was actually one of my favorite action figures from the Ninja Turtle line growing up. I'm a sucker for anything that's a robot version of anything, but so I'm hoping that he actually appears in the show too. Anyways, let's take a closer look at Don. Alright, now Donatello has a different sort of a face than Raphael. His mouth is kind of closed. You can't really see that gap that's in his teeth that I guess gives him that nerdy-ish or little kiddish feel from the show, but he's actually pretty much has the same articulation as Raphael. The arms swivel pretty well. You can get some pretty good articulation out here. The elbows bend, the wrists swivel, the legs swivel around. You can actually pose these guys, I think, actually. There's some limitations on the posing, but I think actually you can kind of get them in nice bending stances if you wanted to have them look hunched over or other stuff. But that's pretty much as far as posability goes. I do like how he's a lighter color. I remember kind of in the cartoon their colors were kind of lost. There was always usually the same palette, but I remember on the old toys, yeah, they definitely had more of a, each one had their own unique tone to them, and actually Donatello from their first series was actually kind of more of a darker color and kind of olivish, and I think it was Michelangelo or Roth that was actually the lighter color. You can definitely see some different detail in here on the shell. He has some stretch marks where Raphael had the cut mark, and even the bandages and the knee pads and little marks on the shells and legs are just different enough to where you can tell that none of the parts are recycled from any of them. They don't just have a standard body and pop on a new head. So that's actually pretty neat. And there is some size difference that I'll get into in just a sec. Donatello comes with his standard bow staff, which some people have said is kind of short, and I kind of have to agree. The original Ninja Turtles Donatello staff seemed kind of long. Or well, a lot longer than compared to this one. I mean, this one's not even his entire height. I believe the original ones always came up that few extra inches. That would have been kind of cooler to have just that long staff, because it does kind of look short in his arms. I'm going to put this in here. It's a little bit of a tricky to kind of get this in here, and you have to bend the toy just bend the staff just a little bit to get it in there. Ooh, that's a tight grip. So you can definitely see. It's kind of neat to have him holding the staff lengthwise, but I mean, if it was just a little bit longer, I think that would have been cooler. Right now, it just kind of looks a little short, like you can't really do too much with it, but that's just a minor nitpick. The belts don't come off, like just as before, and although I have to say that they do have a lot more detail, and I like the fact that the straps are a lot thicker and kind of one solid piece. The old ones, the straps would often pop off or break on you because they were just really thin and flimsy. Let me put his staff in the back here, like putting his main weapon there. Now he does come with this other weapon, staff that has a blade on the end of it. I'm sorry, for the life of me I can't pronounce it, so I'm not even going to try, but that's another little weapon that he has. I've been having him hold that. The other weapons that he comes with are like this, kind of broken up, almost like a nunchuck style staff with little plastic chains in here, and then two buzzsaw ninja stars. The chainsaw, I've heard people complain because it's plastic that you can't really bend them too much, and that they're eventually going to break if you try to bend them and get them into those odd positions. I've been debating whether or not I want to cut them off, and I know a little hobby store where I could buy some jewelry chain and glue it in there, and then they could actually be more like realistic nunchucks type style staff. But then I know that will decrease the value of the figure, but I might do it anyways just because it's a neat thing. Now let's have a little size comparison next to Raph. So you can definitely see that Donatello definitely is taller than the others, which I kind of like. I remember Well, I remember the original turtles were always the same size, but I think in the comics or in recent times they've actually usually had them being different sizes. And I think Raph lately in the last series was the taller one, but it's nice to see kind of Donnie as the new higher figure. As another little bonus that I actually was rummaging across in my room, I came across these old pizza points actually. For any of you who are out there, remember that on the back of the boxes you would have a little pizza point or proof of purchase that you could buy, and or that you'd cut out and you'd mail these in to get you mail these in with some money, and you had to have so many pizza points. Vehicles came with like 5 points or other stuff, and then you can get exclusive figures that you could only mail away for, or that they didn't sell on the shelves anymore. So it was kind of neat to find these old little pizza points and just have that little nostalgic feeling for like back in the days. I'm kind of sad that that a lot of toys don't do this anymore. Star Wars kind of has some force points on the back of their toys, but I don't really think that they have anything that they can that you can actually go and order away for anymore. Anyways, that was a nice little thing, but that was the look at Donatello. Not sure if we'll be able to look at any turtles next week, because, well, they're kind of getting scarce in the toy shelves right now. I guess a lot of people are starting to buy them up. But who knows what we'll be looking at next week. Once again, thank you for watching. If you like what you see today, please feel free to subscribe or leave a comment below in the comment section. Any advice for the show will be greatly appreciated. Who knows, something you suggest may appear in the show in the future.